back. Nobody beats Mr. Perfect.
Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello and welcome to another episode of Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. I'm your host, Steph. This is episode 35. Today on our Perfect Podcast, we're going to watch along to Curt's match at Survivor Series 1990. Curt was the captain of his team along with Demolition Axe, Smash, and Crush. On the other side was Captain Ultimate Warrior, along with the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, and the Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk. This was a perfect match, though I thought that Mr. Perfect should have been the sole survivor. But before we start, please join me on my YouTube and Rumble channels where if you like what you hear, you can subscribe, comment, like, and share so we can grow these channels. The links for both will be in the description field below this video. I would like to give a shout out and a thank you to my paid patron supporter, Charlie Brown Politics. Thank you, Charlie, for your support. If you too would like to support my channel for as low as $1 a month, please click the link in the description field below this video to become a paid patron supporter. You will also get your name read on the show. For $3 a month, you will get your name read on the show and you will get to ask me a question which I will read and answer. For $5 a month, you get all this plus an exclusive behind the scenes of how I do my show and also a blooper reel. For $10, you get all this and an access to a live Patreon show where you can learn more about me. So please click the link in the description field below this video today. Please help me to reach 100 followers on Rumble. All links will be in the description field below this video. You can now follow me on Locals for free. If you would like to support the show, you can for just $2 a month. Thank you for your support. Okay guys, we're back. So before we start, I just want to say a few words about the Sherri Martel Dark Side of the Ring, because I did see it, though it was very cut out. A lot of it was cut out because it was on YouTube. So I'm going to wait for the full version to come out. And then I am definitely going to, see if I can see the whole thing. It was very good. I did like it a lot because, when I was young, Sherri was with the Macho Man. And then, of course, I do remember the whole WrestleMania 7 thing where Elizabeth comes back into Macho's life and Sherri kind of kicks him to the curb and goes with DiBiase. But then also, I do remember, like, she was against Sapphire at this time because they were having a feud with Dusty Rhodes. So, what I kind of want to say is, I loved the documentary, though, you have to understand, guys, when I was young, like 4 and 5 years old, Sherri was, a heel. So I loved to hate her because, she was that heel and she was basically, I would describe her as, she had an attitude. Okay. She had that heelish attitude of a bad person, a bad woman. Right? So, there was a lot that, I commend Sherri for, though I don't think I would be able to do it. For example, in Dark Side of the Ring, she leaves her son with her ex-husband when Jared was, I think, 3 months old. And I'm sorry guys, I just couldn't do that. I couldn't just walk out on my son. You know what I mean? I have a son and he's 7 years old. And I can't imagine walking out on my own son. And yeah, I mean, you do what you gotta do in wrestling. I get that point. But I don't know. I just can't see myself doing that. Walking out on my significant other or, in this point, at this juncture of my life, he's my soulmate. I can't imagine walking out on my soulmate and my son, even for wrestling. For me, that would be hard because I would spend every waking moment I could with my son and my soulmate. Even though I had a wrestling career. And I really looked up to Sherri, to be honest, especially when I was a teenager and I wanted to become a wrestler, a female wrestler. I really looked up to Sherri. I looked up to Elizabeth. I really looked up to Joni Laurel, who is China. I really looked up to these ladies because they knew how to wrestle. They knew what they were doing. I didn't really find Sunny, I didn't really look up to her. I didn't look up to Sable because she never wrestled. She did a couple of moves, but that's it, but she never wanted to. Luna was good too. I just, I wasn't really interested in the women's wrestling as much as I was, because again, I'm a straight lady. So I'm what they call a cis lady now. But, that's fine, but I also, think that these women pioneered, the women's wrestling along with Rockin' Robin, who was also I was a big fan of hers as well. Especially when I saw her in the older pay-per-views that we had. And I just wanted to be a part of that, I wanted to, go to wrestling school and be that female wrestler. I just unfortunately had a mother who would tell me that I need to look at reality. I need to live in reality and live in the real world. Now I know these, even the ladies, they really put their bodies on the line, just like the men do. And I know Sherri, had issues, because this is YouTube. I can't say exactly what her issues were. But I'll just say she had issues. And I get it, you have to do that because, it hurts. And she took some crazy bumps, and that's just, what you do. But, I was very saddened of her passing, and I think that, she will be severely missed. She just had, the issues there. But other than that, her son, who, he also has problems. I implore you, because like I said, this is going on YouTube, but I implore you to look up his issues. It's very sad that this is what's happening to him, and he's not much older than I am. He was born in 78, and I was born in 86. So, he's in his 40s, at least. And I think he's a little older than Joe Hennig, because Joe, I think, was born in 79. So, and it's terrible what this gentleman is going through, but he's the son of Sherri Martel. And it was so great to see him. I'm glad he could talk about his mom. He has no animosity towards his mother for leaving and wanting her career, which is fine. As long as your child understands you're trying to do what's best for them. And she did spend as much time with him as she could. But there's just things that, I would want my kids with me no matter what. And that's not always, you can't always do that. So, what happens is, you end up, basically, neglecting them, I guess you could say. Or they may feel neglected because you're not always there. I'm trying to find the right words because, again, this is going on YouTube, and I don't want them to, not want to promote my stuff just because I say a word or words that they don't like. So, the child can feel like, you don't care about them, basically. And I don't think that was what happened here with Jared and Sherri. I definitely think Sherri loved that little boy, as much as she possibly could. It's just, I think she was more, career oriented, and she wanted to be, a female wrestler, and she was one of the greats. She was taught by Moolah. And then, she basically learned on the job. Some of her career choices, I was like, wow, I couldn't believe she did that. But hey, that's what it is. I also did not know that she dated on and off Jake the Snake Roberts. I did not know that. I did not know they were a thing, but they turned out to be good friends. And, I never would have guessed that. Not in a million years would I have guessed that she dated Jake the Snake Roberts at one point. I mean, good for her. I mean, if they were happy, but they, stuff happens and they turned out to be the best of friends, which is good. It's good to be friends with, someone when it doesn't work out. I mean, no offense, but if like something happened between me and my soulmate where we just didn't want to be together anymore, I mean, I would want to, a mutual breakup. Though, let me tell you something. We're crazy about each other and we're not going to break up anytime soon, but I'm just saying I would want that mutual friendship, kind of like I have with my ex right now. I have a mutual understanding with him, about our son. So, but like I said, I couldn't have asked for something better than what Jake and Sherri had. And that was a good friendship. They were good friends. He really missed her when she passed. And it was very sad of her passing. He was very sad of her passing. He teared up in the documentary. And I would like to say more about this on my pro wrestling talk. So, by now we should be up to like episode 20. I'm recording this in April, actually on April 24th. So, and this won't come out till like the end of May. So I can guarantee you that, you'll probably hear all my other episodes first. But I mean, not unfortunately, but fortunately for Sherri, she had a good life. I think that she was just misunderstood. I think they passed her up. I know she was talking to Grizzly Smith. She came in, at 16 and he said, "Oh, come back when you're 21 or whatever." To hear that can be devastating. You know what I mean? Cause I mean, you want something so passionately, so desperately. You want something such as a wrestling career or a career in wrestling. Let's just put it that way. A career in wrestling. You want a career in pro wrestling. You've watched it since you were young. I didn't know that, Sherri's mother would take her to wrestling events when she was young and she'd get all into it, she was part of the crowd. She was part of the fans, I think that's wonderful. And then because she had seen it so much when she was young, she wanted to be a part of it. I think that's beautiful. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to be a part of it too, because I loved it and I watched it so much. I also would have done anything to meet my hero, Curt Hennig. And I would have begged him, "Please, Curt, teach me how to wrestle. Teach me to be like you." I would have done pretty much anything, to meet him because he's such a great guy. I can't tell you, I've been finding pictures of him just helping out his friends and just being an all around awesome person and great guy. I mean, why wouldn't you want to meet Curt Hennig, right? Curt, wherever you are, if you could have taught me how to wrestle, I would have loved it. So, again, just to kind of sum up, I really enjoyed the, Sherri Martel, Dark Side of the Ring, even though it did end sadly, of her passing. And they said she was gonna come back to the WWE. So, and then all of a sudden she was no longer with us. And that's just, I actually teared up at the end. I was just like, oh, that's so sad. Because I've seen Sherri's interview, the one that they have in Dark Side of the Ring, where she's sitting there in the chair and she has this beautiful white dress on. So beautiful. I like the lace kind of looking stuff. And, she was talking about, her runs in with, Grizzly Smith and stuff. And she talked about her issues. She was pretty open about them. They had on, Jim Cornette, of course. And they also had on Medusa and Rockin' Robin. It was so good to see all those people and, those folks. I hope they, enjoyed talking about Sherri. And, Sherri, wherever you are, dear, we miss you. And you were taken from us too soon. But, and I wish that Sherri would have also taught me how to wrestle, Rockin' Robin, Sherri, maybe even Joni Laurel, who is China. I would have loved that, along with Curt. They could have all been my mentors, and I would have loved it. I think they said she was going to come, Sherri wasn't going to wrestle, but she was going to come back and teach the new women talent, which is awesome and something WWE should definitely, or would have definitely gone for, especially because some of those women today, I'm just saying they're not the star power they could have been if Sherri was behind the throne there. So, anyway, I don't want to go on too much longer about Sherri, but, it was a great documentary. I do, recommend that you do see the Dark Side of the Ring, Sherri Martel. Great, episode. I think she was a great talent and a great wrestler, and she definitely is missed, even today, because no one could do it like her. So I think that she's definitely missed. Okay, so on to the topic of what we're going to talk about today, and that's Survivor Series 1990. Now, you guys will probably hear 1989 Survivor Series in an earlier episode, which is just fine. This is 1990, so we were in conflict. That's all I will say. We were in conflict. The United States was in conflict. So you may hear some things about that conflict. I don't know. I don't think Piper says anything during the match, but, I do like Piper as a commentator. I thought he was very, very funny. I would just tell him to stay off the you-know-what. But I actually saw his biography. So I'm just going to take a few minutes here before we get into the whole Survivor Series thing. I did actually see the biography of Roddy Piper. Amazing. I didn't know he wrote all his stuff down, like even for his movie. He had a great line. I encourage you to see They Live, and you'll hear that infamous line that he has. I don't want to swear because I don't want foul language. I don't get popped for foul language. So, pretty much, what I can say about Piper's biography is that it was good. I mean, there's a lot of things I didn't, expect to see. Oh, he was a great dad. Oh, Piper was a great dad. But when he was on the road, he was Roddy Piper. He was someone different. He wasn't, from Canada, and, he wasn't the family man. You know what I mean? They did talk about his first match, which I knew from his, ghost story. Piper was on Celebrity Ghost Story, and it was a great story, a great ghost story. He talked about Adrian Adonis. And I knew that his first match was with Larry Hennig. I didn't know it was when he was 15 years old. But, in the biography, they talked about it, and then, Piper says that Larry said, "Hey kid, you want to be a wrestler? Okay, let's go." And he kind of just got into the business, and it's like Larry Hennig did that for him. That's wonderful. And Larry Hennig, is Curt's father, for those who don't know. Larry the Axe. He was also a great family man, and I know him and Curt were very close. And I think Curt surpassed him in like a career-wise kind of thing. Though, yeah, Larry Hennig, which I just seen a, interview with Harley Race. I mean, no one could draw them. It was Hennig and Race. And, Larry did very well in the 60s. Very, very well until he blew out his knee, and then, well, injuries happen. That's what they have. That's what happens. So I think that a lot of people, say, oh, well, Curt was more of a star, but Larry drew more. That is true in the 60s. But that's because that was sort of before TV. I would say that's before TV became a thing. So, it was more like 70s and 80s is when TV kind of came into it. But, kudos to Larry, I think he deserved all the hype that he got. And, excuse me, he's a legend in the sport. So, it's definitely, I do like Larry Hennig. He and Curt, if you've ever seen them together, are very coexistent. You can tell they're very close. Okay, now back to Survivor Series. Like I said, I just want to let everyone know that I did see the Roddy Piper bio. He will be commentator at Survivor Series 1990, so we will get a short glimpse after all of the music is through of Piper talking. If you are going to follow along, you can leave your volume up, but I'm going to keep my volume down until they actually start the match, and it's because I don't want to get copyright infringements. So again, you are more than welcome to leave yours up. Now, Survivor Series is, of course, Animal and Hawk with the Texas Tornado and the Ultimate Warrior, who at WrestleMania 6 became the heavyweight champion from Hogan. And you will not see Rick Rude in this Survivor Series because he left for WCW. And I think that's because they wouldn't make Rude the champion from the Warrior. They just wanted the Warrior to be champ. So that's on one side. On the other side, we have Curt and we have the Demolition, who at this time had Crush, because I believe Survivor Series 1990 was Axe's or Bill Eadie's last night. He was not going to be wrestling anymore. So they kind of sort of brought Bryan Adams in to sort of replace him. But if I remember correctly, it didn't last too long. And I know that Barry Darsow became the Repo Man, and then Crush became obviously Crush from the good Crush from Hawaii. Sorry, I can't say what city he was from. I can't pronounce it. So we have a good matchup here. We have the Animal Hawk, or the LOD, which is Animal and Hawk, and then we have the Texas Tornado. Now, if everybody remembers from an earlier episode, we did the Kerry Von Erich versus Curt Hennig, or Mr. Perfect match at SummerSlam 1990. The Texas Tornado gets the belt, and he will have it throughout Survivor Series. I'm not sure when exactly Curt got the belt back. I'm pretty sure it's probably December of 1990. And this will be November. So around like December or January of 91, I believe Curt will get the belt back from help with DiBiase. So, I think I have that downloaded. We might go over that. I'm going to try to find his match with Kerry where he breaks character for like 2 seconds because of Kerry's nose. I cannot say what happened with his nose because I will get dinged. So, but I'll just say that he makes Curt break character. And for like 2 seconds. It's really great. 2 seconds. This is a great match, I think. It's probably not as long as anyone thinks it is, so hopefully I won't have like a half an hour episode, but we'll just go what we can do and, go from there. So I'm gonna get everything ready and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Okay, guys, so we're back. If you could go to your Peacock subscription, if I can talk today, and we're actually 3 minutes in. It's 3 minutes and 7 seconds. They are the first match. Curt is the first match. Now you can turn your volume up. Unfortunately, because of copyright reasons, I'm going to have to keep mine down. But you can turn yours up. You see I kind of paused it when Roddy Piper was doing, some faces, silly faces. But again, you can definitely keep yours up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play now. And again, guys, you can keep your volume up. You absolutely do not have to turn it down. I have to keep it down because there is music. So you see Howard Finkel there. And we see Demolition come out. Mr. Fuji is with them again. In 88, he leaves them for the Powers of Pain, which was, I'm trying to think of their names. The Barbarian and the Warlord. Oh, so there's Bryan Adams, who is Crush. And of course there's Bill Eadie and Barry Darsow. And their team captain will be coming soon. There he is. Hi, Curt. Yeah, you're perfect. You know it. So, of course, I love the blue and the yellow. I think it meshes really nicely. So it's almost like, how did Curt know, what to mesh? But I love the singlet. I thought it was awesome. Nice catch, Bobby. This is when Bobby Heenan was with Curt. I think Lanny was before. Yeah, so they're going to do an interview here. I'm just going to keep it down. You can keep yours up. They're going to do an interview with the Warrior and the Texas Tornado and the LOD. Who is a hawk and animal at this point. So again, you don't, you don't have to, I'm just going to keep it down because they may just, have you can probably hear the music in the background. So again, don't want to get popped for anything. So we'll just, you can listen to them do their promos and stuff. Can anyone describe to me what the Warrior exactly says in his promos? Does anyone really know what that dude would say? I'm just like, what is he talking about? I'm not sure. You can tell he says Mr. Perfect and Demolition. But Demolition were bad guys again when Crush comes into it, so. They were heels. Again, I'll just keep this down. Like I said, I don't know if there's any music. It's been a while since I've seen this, guys. Just with all my shows, it's kind of hard to keep up with all these pay-per-views. So we'll just wait. Hey, there's Curt. Oh, he was up on the ropes there, right next to Crush. I love when he flicks his hair back. That's awesome. I don't know why, but I always like when Curt flicked his hair back. Yeah, so, yay, we're going to see more of Curt Hennig. But again, him and Kerry, again, the Texas Tornado, he will be, the Intercontinental Champion during this time. And I'm not sure, like I said, when Curt gets his belt back, but, he will. He will. So, here comes the Texas Tornado. Then we're going to have I think it's the LOD guys. Okay. There we go. LOD guys. And they are, I'm talking to the crowd, obviously. Again, these are just ring stuff and there's copyright music, so I just want to keep it down for now. Yeah. Did you see that sign? It said, the perfect team will gobble up the turkey warrior or something. Turkey team, warrior team or something. I'm guessing that guy don't like the Ultimate Warrior. And here comes the Ultimate Warrior. Wasn't a big fan. Warrior was Warrior. What could you say, right? But he was champ, so I just, sorry, Warrior, I wasn't a big fan. Okay, we'll just kind of wait a little bit longer here, so just for the music to go down or go off. No, Curt wasn't scared. He's just eyeballing people, looking at people. He's looking around. Give Curt a break. I'm just gonna take a little bit of water. I love the blue. The blue and the yellow really mesh, like I said. So there's Curt and Carrie. Piper is so crazy. I'm telling you. I don't know, like I said, he wrote down everything he talked about. I'm like, okay. They didn't come off the top of his head. Yay! It's Mr. Perfect. Like I said, who's looking great. He always looked great. What am I talking about? One of his best moves. You okay, Mr. Perfect? Just need to walk around a little bit. Now, if you look there, it looked like Bill just didn't know what to do. Maybe him and Warrior didn't talk about spots or whatever. I'm not sure. I saw an interview with Curt. He was on a show or something in 2002, and he actually met up with Hawk again, and he goes, see, Hawk was trying to kiss me. He was just messing with him, of course. It was nice to see them two, because they have known each other since AWA. Oh, I think that was a botch there. I think Hawk was supposed to go with him. I love what happens with Curt here. He has to go against the Texas Tornado and the Warrior. Curt could take both these guys, trust me. If anybody could, it was Curt Hennig. And I liked Kerry. I really did. I think him and Curt had some really great matches. Curt does some psychological stuff here. The Intercontinental belt, Piper. I think Piper forgot. Missed. Knee lift. I love that knee lift.
You notice when we started with Perfect and Texas Tornado and the Ultimate Warrior, he was teasing him. Then when they made the tag, before Tornado could get in the ring, he went right after them. Very clever. A block and a big right hand by the Tornado and another one.
Oh.
Works every time.
Works every time. I'm so sorry. I love when Piper says stuff. He makes me laugh.
I don't know if the referee's seen it, but the turnbuckle has gone off that one side, and he just got his head. Texas Tornado got his head right there.
Perfect plex.
Yes, shoulders are down. That's it. I got to mark him off, Gorilla. Just hang on. Texas Tornado out of here. It's one-on-one.
Curt, move. He did.
Don't stop, does it? You don't know Panthers here, baby. If you can't get it done, don't go. He goes for it again. Got the fingers locked.
He let the Warrior kick out.
Shoulder the brain. He's got the Warrior hurt now. Watch it. Go to work. What stamina. Most guys would be down and out by now, but look at Perfect. Warrior trying to get his composure. Warrior needs to look where he is now. Get your head up. Listen to these people. Look out. Perfect, a drop kick and a beauty. Right in a kisser. One, two. Close, but no cigar. No, sir. No smoking here. He is relentless. Mr. Perfect constantly stalking. He's hurt as well. Pumpkinhead, is he ever?
Guess who's arguing there? I think that is Shane McMahon. I think that's who's arguing with Bobby Heenan right there and pushed him. Remember, Shane started as a ref, so...
Referee was caution. I'm not sure what.
Ooh, ouch.
Well, you know the Braves got a bug jumping in there, Hot Rod.
Oh, no thank you. I don't want to feel that. If they show the referee on the floor, I think that's Shane McMahon. Oh, Warrior, you better be careful with Curt. Another one that would hurt guys. Yeah, it is Shane McMahon. So look at, if you see the second referee on the floor, it's Shane McMahon. Again, he started as a ref. You know, you gotta start somewhere, even if it's the boss's son. Just like the boss's daughter, right? She started out as a producer or something. I'm not sure what Stephanie started out as. I'm sorry. I don't know much about Stephanie McMahon. I just think it's funny that her and I both share a first name. Only my last name's not McMahon. Shucks. I don't like the Ultimate Warrior. Do not hurt him. Okay, so, this is just the end of the match. I had to turn it down, like I said. He pins Curt. Curt rolls out and goes to the back like any good heel. So you can go ahead and pause it. You should be at 23:33. And again, they're just going to show the Ultimate Warrior showing the belt off and stuff. So, yeah, no offense, I don't really long to hear it. So, but if you would like to watch the rest of that, you're more than welcome to do that. I just didn't. I thought Curt should have won. My personal thing. Because, like I said, I wasn't much for the Warrior, but again, they're not going to let the, heavyweight champion, they're not going to let him not win. Okay. They're not going to let him not be in the main event. Which is fine. If they didn't want the Ultimate Warrior not to win or be in the main event, that's fine. It's Vince's company, right? So, let me put everything away. We'll say some final words and then, this episode's done, guys. Alright, guys, we're gonna tidy up here. It was a great match. Like I said, I just think that the guy who should have won didn't. But again, they weren't going to keep the Ultimate Warrior, who was the champion, out of the main event. And you knew Hogan was going to be in the main event. So Hogan wins his, Tito Santana wins his, no one from Jake's team wins. They all, were eliminated. And that's just what they call that. So when you are counted out or you get a pinfall, you have to go back to the showers, basically. Again, guys, I have to kind of watch what I say, because I don't want to get popped from YouTube for saying things that I shouldn't. Apparently, or there are some words that you cannot say. And no offense, but I like getting subscribers, so I like promoting my stuff. Anyway, I think that was a great match. I just love it when Curt's like, well, what about you, Texas Tornado? You got the belt. Come on. What do you think? I just think that him and Kerry had so much charisma in the ring and they had great matches. Like I said, we will have to go over that match where he breaks character for like 2 seconds. I'm not even kidding. Literally 2 seconds. But that's pretty much it for me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you could please, subscribe, comment, like, share. If you can, please follow me and become a Patreon supporter. Like I said, I can't say enough good things about, all my Patreon supporters. But we're just gonna try to get bigger and grow. And like I said, if you can spare the $1, please do so. Kind of hurting here. So, if you can give, please do. Again, we will be having some interesting matches here coming up. So episode 36 and 37 are like WCW, matches. And then also when we get to episode 38, we're going to go back to Portland and we're going to have, it's called a knee versus knee match. And the winner, I guess, gets to say that they have the better knee. It's a very interesting match. It is in 1982 and it is in Portland, when Curt was in Portland and he had that rivalry with, Buddy Rose. And then, of course, there's also a Dr. D thing in there, too. He does have a match with Dr. D. I think that'll be 39. Episode 39, we'll talk about Dr. D and versus Curt Hennig. And if you guys go to Rumble, you will get to see my theme songs. So I have several. I have several Curt Hennig or Mr. Perfect themes. And then I also have several, for the WCW matches, what I'm going to do is I actually do a theme song to Rap is Crap. I put in some WCW videos and of course TNA because I didn't have a lot of WCW stuff. So I just put in the music video for Rap is Crap because I had to use it. Like I said, I didn't have that much TNA or WCW stuff. So I actually had to use the music video for Rap is Crap. But if you go over to Rumble, you'll be able to see that. All my links will be in the description field. So if you want to check out Rumble with the theme song, you're more than welcome to. If you like YouTube, you're more than welcome. You just won't get to see that special theme song. I'm sorry, I had to reboot my computer. I had to do an update on my computer, so I'm sorry if you heard that noise in the background. So I'd like to thank everybody. Like I said, if you can help out, please do so. I could really use the support on Patreon. And if you'd like to see a lot of my theme songs, Rumble is the place to go. I definitely love, doing these theme songs. For a special Portland, because in Portland, Curt didn't have any theme music. He just kind of came out to the ring. And the commentator would say, it's Curt Hennig, that kind of thing. There is a song called Like Curt Hennig. It's a rap song, of all things to find on the internet. And, I found it on YouTube, in fact. So I downloaded it and I put a little theme song to it. Well, I put some pictures to it. I could do a Portland thing, but I would just rather have the pictures. So for Portland stuff, I think we're going to definitely do it's just like Curt Hennig, but it will be a Rumble exclusive only. So if you could just hop over to Rumble if you want to see that, you don't have to watch the whole episode. You can just watch the theme song. It is a really cool theme song, I think, and it just makes it all the better with the pictures. I also will be, adding a theme song that I took from My Perfect Friend, which is Randy Savage's rap song about Curt Hennig. I'll be doing that probably in the future for later episodes. But I'm so excited. We're almost at 40 episodes. I never dreamed that it would go on this long. And all the success that it's getting on YouTube and on Rumble. We're getting more eyeballs, we're getting more support. If you could just help me out on Patreon and give me that support, that would be wonderful. And again, I'm at your disposal, guys. If you can spare $3, you get your name read on the show and you get to ask me questions. That's wrestling questions or anything about me, as long as it doesn't get too personal. I'll share. But, I definitely think that we're going to keep growing here. And like I said, if you do want to see those theme songs, you're more than welcome to go over to Rumble and check them out. And you can sub to the Rumble, and then you can also sub to the YouTube if that's your preference. But right now I can get all the support I need all the support I can get, really. So if you could just do that again. I would like to give a shout out to Kit Cabello. He did hit 50,000 subscribers and he's wearing a kilt next week. That would be April 29th and the beginning of May. So the, April 29th to May, I think it's 3rd. I believe it's either the 2nd or the 3rd. I think it's the 3rd. So, if you could check that out, I can figure that out. Give me 1 second. It is the 3rd. So from the April 29th to the 3rd, Kit will be wearing a kilt. He will be wearing a kilt. And remember what Piper said, Kit. Real men wear kilts. So, I definitely think, I need to give a shout out to him. He's been a real big backer of my channel and I can't thank him enough for all his support and everything he does for me and my show. If you would like to check out Pro Wrestling Talk on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we tell you otherwise, if I can get an audience that way, that would be great. I also have another show called Black Magic Talk. We just did episode 6, which was skulls, and more skulls, fake Halloween decorations. And we also did a full moon ritual. So if you want to check that out, hop on over. The links will be in the description field. You can hop on over and check that out too if you're Wiccan, pagan, or you just want to know some more about it. Next week, on Black Magic Talk, we will be talking to my teacher. So this is April 29th. We'll be talking to my teacher who, pretty much taught me, I already knew where to start with Wicca. I just sort of, how do I put this? I just needed to follow a direction. So she kind of pushed me into the right direction. And, I would say that I'm more confident, today than I would have been several years ago. So, so if you're interested in learning more about her and, her, business, so to speak, she does have half off tarot, learn tarot like a pro. become a confident tarot reader. It is half off. You can check out my channel, Black Magic Talk, which I will again have in the description field below the video. If you want to check anything out on her website, I have all the links for her stuff on my Black Magic Talks channel. It's Mrs. Witchy Perfect, for YouTube, and Black Magic Talk for Rumble. So, if you, again, need any of those links, they will be in the description field. If you decide that you would rather support my Black Magic Talk show, we do have a new Patreon that is out. You will find the description. It will be in the description field. It should be on both channels. But if you would like to support me that way, you are more than welcome to. Blessed be. I really could use it. All the help I can get, like I said. But I love it that I'm also going to be sharing it 50-50 with my co-host, because that's fair. Fair is fair, right? And I know he has mouths to feed too. So if you're interested in any of that, you can, like I said, the links will be in the description field. You can go there and pick it's $1, $3, $5, and $10, just like the wrestling Patreon page. If you would like to become a Patreon supporter, please support us. With Matt, I share it 50-50. The wrestling was my kind of thing, so it will help to my mouths that I have to feed. Again, everything will be in the description field. I like to give a shout out to Grassfire, or Matt Collins, who is my co-host for Black Magic Talk. He's doing some great work as well. His stuff will be in the description field in the Black Magic Talks description, if you do go over there and want to learn more about Wiccan and Pagan. Okay? If everyone could follow Angel Riviera, I like to give a shout out to him real fast. So Angel Riviera, who is Angel in the Afternoon, he's got a great show on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. He talks about politics. And then, of course, he is my host and I am his co-host for, Pro Wrestling Talk, which is again, Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys can support us any way you can. There is no Patreon for that I know of, though I'll let, Angel decide if he wants to do that. But you can subscribe, share the content so that we can continue to grow. We actually are on the INN network. And I was told that we actually had the most views, the other week. So of any other program on the INN network. So that's so great to hear. If you guys like what you hear on Pro Wrestling Talk, again, subscribe. You can, get to know everything about us and our wrestling views. This week, like I said, when you hear this, we'll probably be up to episode 20, but, or around there. We are actually going to talk about, the late great Sherri Martel. And then we're also going to talk about AEW Dynasty, I think, and some other things. So if you like what you hear, go over there, listen to us talk about wrestling, and sub, and comment, and just share. So if you have any questions about what I do, you can always email me. It should be on my it should be on my page. You definitely can DM me on my X. My X is also on my YouTube page, and all the links are on my main page. It's Mr. Perfect is Perfect, I believe. I have to think about that. But yeah, if you look up Mr. Perfect is Perfect, you'll see everything there on my page there. As soon as you see it, you can go to the community page. You can check out what I've been posting on the community page and be a part of it. You can subscribe, comment, and but you can also get the links to anything that I have there. So my Black Magic Talk stuff, and then also the Pro Wrestling Talk stuff. And of course, everything is there in this description field below this video. So if you have any questions, you can just go to my main page there, and get my work email, or you can get me on X, which again, my X is on my main page. and you can direct message me if you want to on X and ask me questions. But if it's any related wrestling questions, I ask that you become a Patreon supporter for $3, and then you can ask me any wrestling question you want. But this is just like if you're confused about, when I do my shows or, what exactly my shows entail, or, even if you want to give feedback, you want to direct message me and give me direct feedback. Hey, I'm all for that too. So again, everything is on my main page on YouTube or my X should be in the description field except for my email. That will be on my main page on YouTube. So if you, like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, or you just want to give feedback on how I'm doing on my show, and, if you want to congratulate me on anything, Saturday was my birthday, so I turned 38. Yeah, I know, all bad weeds grow, right? But if you have anything, you can always direct message me. Like I said, if you do ask me a wrestling question, I prefer you become a Patreon supporter first, and then I will read and answer it. Okay? And remember, guys, this is it for me, but remember, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody.